I went on Amazon and spent $150 on pillows. So I thought I would make a video talking about which ones worked best for me and why, so that maybe you don't have to do the same thing. Today I'm going to talk about the best pillows that I have found for post-wrist surgery. Specifically, I had a subsheath repair that I am not able to rotate or bend my wrist or my forearm at all. So these pillows are going to be specifically for that, but can be helpful for, I would assume, most people that are having any type of wrist surgery. If you've not seen any of my other videos, I've been documenting the journey pre and post surgery for my wrist repair that I had done April 1st. And I thought I would hop on and talk to you guys about some of the best pillows that I found, because I really couldn't find any information about this topic when I was researching, and I woke up one day in pretty severe pain after a week of my surgery. I was switched to this brace and not having a good time. So I went on Amazon and spent $150 on pillows. So I thought I would make a video talking about which ones worked best for me and why, so that maybe you don't have to do the same thing if you are having issues with your wrist. Out of the 9 pillows that I have bought overall, 2 I did not open and return to Amazon. And then there were another 2 that I think would be great for someone else without my specific surgery. And I'm going to show those to you first. First one is this wedge pillow here that has a nice little kind of tail at the end you could take on and off, but is a good place to rest your elbow. And my intention for this pillow was to kind of lay it flat on my bed like this and rest my arm at night, which would have been fantastic if I was able to rotate my forearm. So if you are somebody that has had a wrist surgery and you need something to kind of elevate your arm to help with swelling at night or even on the couch, this would be fantastic if you're allowed to rotate your forearm. I'm really bummed out this one didn't work for me. It was gonna solve like all of the issues that I was having, but it just unfortunately did not work without me being able to rotate my forearm. This would have been a 10 out of 10, and I would recommend it if you can rotate your forearm, but otherwise did not work for me. The second pillow I'm going to talk about really didn't work for the same reasons. I thought this was going to work great, so I was trying to kind of like bumper it on my arm like this so that I could rest it down. My initial reasoning for it was I was hoping to put it on my elbow, but it ended up being a little bit too bulky for that for nighttime when I was sleeping. And again, if you could rotate your forearm, this would be great for support on the couch, and you can kind of put it wherever you need. Or it would be great support for your elbow as well. But unfortunately for me, I was not able to use it. The third pillow I'm going to show you here, it wasn't a complete fail, but I've ended up not liking it as much as I thought I was going to in the beginning. This is actually, I found it by looking up pillows post-surgery, like arm surgery. And this is for those who have had shoulder repair. So you kind of tuck it under your arm here. And this works. I do like it to an extent, but I found that I wish the bottom of the pillow was a little longer. Maybe the issue is because I have such a long torso. So I was trying to like wedge a pillow under it and then put this on top. And it does work. I did use it some. It's not the one I've been reaching for recently, but my arm tends to hurt if I keep it in the same position for too long. So I will rotate this in and out occasionally, but I just found that it kind of makes my forearm want to rotate a little bit. So I have to be careful with how I position it. But I would give this a solid like 6 out of 10 for my specific surgery. And obviously if you have a shoulder repair, this probably works great for you. If you have any other type of wrist surgery, I think it's just going to kind of depend on how much it hurts for your wrist to kind of drop a little bit. Now this fourth pillow is a literal pillow, but my inspiration behind this was I have some pillows on my bed. I've had them for years and they're like my secondary pillows because I've had them so long I don't feel good about sleeping on them at night, but I use them just for like extra fluff on my bed. And they're very like, they've got broken up pieces inside of them. And I think it's called a Tinsel brand. I got them at Sam's Club years ago and I cannot find them anywhere anymore. But this has a similar concept. Like it's a very malleable pillow. It's very fluffy, which is what I like about it. I use this one on the couch. I'm able to kind of prop my arm up on it, which is good when I'm wanting to not have my arm like down by my side. So this one I have used a ton. I just think if you're gonna get a regular pillow like this, that it needs to be one that has like the broken up cushion pieces in it, so that way you can kind of mold it to what you need for your specific injury. So this one has been a great trooper for me. I definitely use this one quite a bit on and off throughout the days. I would give it honestly like a 9 out of 10. I do wish it was a little more like malleable. It has worked great for me. I don't sleep with this one. I think it would maybe be a little bit too firm for that, for my purposes in bed, but this has been fantastic and I would definitely recommend. I will put on the screen the exact name of this pillow, but like I said, I got it from Walmart. All right, now we are moving into the top 3, and all 3 of these I simply could not live without, and I use them all day, every day, multiple types of variations how I use it. And this first one is probably the most versatile. It's really funny. It's actually a Game Boy controller. I found it at Walmart, and I think it was like 10 bucks. But the reason it caught my eye was because I was like, ooh, that'll fit like perfectly into my hip here, which is exactly what it does. It does so good for that. In the beginning, I was tucking this under and then popping that shoulder pillow underneath. So I would do this. I told you it needed some support. So then I would put this under, and that kind of gave me the support level that I needed so that I wasn't having to like hold on to the pillow. I could just rest my arm. So that's how I initially started using it. Sometimes I like to just use this on its own for just support. And now in the beginning few weeks, I did not feel comfortable. This was pretty painful to just hold my arm like this. But over the past few weeks, it's been a little bit better. And sometimes it's nice to just kind of rest my arm down and give my shoulder a break. I definitely have been building my, what is it, trap muscle? Yeah, it is definitely. If you looked between the two, I guarantee this one looks bigger than the other one. So this one has been great for that in the daytime, but at night I use it to, when I'm resting, I put my elbow on it. Sorry if the lighting has changed or if I'm sitting in a different position. My husband came home, so greeted him for a minute. So I'll wrap this up really quick, but I think I was talking about this pillow being really good for day and night. So at nighttime, I really like to use this. I'll show you kind of my setup in my bedroom, but I'll prop my elbow up on this at night, and it kind of, I have it stacked on like a little pyramid with a couple other pillows. So this one, as silly as it is, that it's just a little remote or controller, it has been a lifesaver. So last 2 pillows. So the last 2, I'm gonna put this one in second place, but it has truly like saved my life. And it's so silly because I ordered it and I left it in the bag for like a week before I finally opened it, and it has been the best pillow for the daytime. So this one I can just tuck under my elbow, or my shoulder, sorry, and I use this sitting on the couch, walking around. If we leave the house, this is what I keep under my arm when we're like in the car riding, and then also like at a restaurant. That really helps a lot of the pain. So looks a little silly just keeping this pillow tucked under my arm the whole time, but I feel like anybody that sees me in public that has this, they know I have this brace on, so I don't care too much. It has tremendously helped with my pain. And then sitting on the couch even, I can prop it up on another pillow and kind of prop my arm on it in this middle here, and it just has been a game changer. So out of all of the pillows I've shown so far, this is the one that I recommend the most for the daytime, and I think this one would be best for anybody for any type of wrist surgery. So this is definitely a 10 out of 10. And this last pillow I'm going to talk about, I'm putting it in the #1 spot simply because I could not have survived this past like 4 or 5 weeks without it. And it is this pillow here, which is kind of similar to that last one I just showed you, but it folds up into this tube here and it has some ties on it. And what I do is at night, I tuck my arm into the pillow. And this is kind of mimicking a lot of that padding I had before I got this brace. So I kind of tuck my thumb on the outside of it here. I have that controller pillow under my elbow, and then I have another pillow that I kind of lay this one on, and it kind of just props it right here. It doesn't make it so that my arm is so high that I lose feeling in the middle of the night, but it just keeps it nice and cushioned, and that way I'm not bumping it around on anything. And this has truly been a game changer when it comes to sleeping. So this one I highly, highly recommend. And I again think that if you've had any type of wrist surgery or just surgery on your arm in general, this one would be tremendously helpful. The last little tip that I want to give before I go is, this is not the exact one that I have been using. This one is an extra long one, but I left my other one back home in West Virginia. So if you get any type of ice pack that you're meant to wrap around your wrist, this has been perfect for. I will open these and just kind of slide it in, and it'll rest perfectly inside of my brace. So that way I don't have to take it fully off and feel unsafe with the cats jumping up on the couch, or just worry that I'm moving my wrist in any way that I'm not supposed to. It just fits perfectly. I found the other ice packs are a little bulky and it's hard to get right in where the pain is. So I would recommend, I'll link both of the ones that I use. This is the extra large one. I also had one that was a little shorter. That was the one that fit perfectly in my brace here. All right, so the last thing I'm gonna do is take you into my bedroom and show you how I've been sleeping and the pillow setup that I have in there. All right, so I just wanted to quickly walk you through the setup that I have found worked best for me in terms of sleeping. So I have a mattress that is on an adjustable bed frame. So I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but I have it kind of in a zero gravity position with the head set up a little bit higher. And then I have the pillows that I sleep on the back, and these are my 2 support pillows in the front here. I have 2 body pillows as well. So I have one here, and I have my second body pillow over here. So when I am getting into the bed at night, I flip this down. I then take my fancy controller and put it right here. This is where my elbow will rest. And then this pillow I stack on top here. Obviously I do this after I get in to the bed. So I'll stack this here, and then I'll slide this pillow over my arm, and it kind of just rests propped up like this. And then I take a second pillow and kind of tuck it over here. I'm a side sleeper, so it's been really hard to not sleep on my side. So if I need to roll over in the middle of the night and not sleep on my back, I kind of just prop myself over onto my side, and then I can take my arm is still on this pillow and prop it on that one over there. And then this little guy has just been nice. I like to hold on to it, kind of tuck it under my arm. And then I have one of those remotes for my Kindle, and that way I'm not just like flailing in the wind. So that's been my sled up, and I think it has been super helpful if you don't have a bed on an adjustable base and you can afford it. I highly recommend getting one before surgery. If not, I would recommend maybe getting a wedge pillow to put behind you, because sleeping flat has just not been something I've been able to do since the surgery. Right, those have been the best pillows that I have found post wrist surgery for a subsheath repair. I hope that if you are having a wrist surgery coming up, or you know somebody that is, that you find these tips helpful, and I will make sure to link all of the pillows that I found from Amazon in the description box below. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would give it a like and hit subscribe, and I will see you next week for my 6-week update. Bye.